Good evening. Good evening to both of you. For months now, Congress has been debating a second round of stimulus in response to the COVID crisis. Recently, the president said he was done negotiating and that it should wait till after the election, but of course he's since changed his mind. Senator Shaheen, just hours ago you voted to move forward with a targeted bill allowing for another round of Paycheck Protection Program loans. But the stalemate continues on the larger, more comprehensive packages. There are negotiations happening among the Democratic leadership, the Republican leadership, and the White House. But why have the Democrats and Republicans still been unable to meet in the middle?
Well, we do need to continue to negotiate because people are hurting. They do need more help. Small businesses need help. That's one reason I supported moving forward with the second round of PPP this afternoon. But unfortunately, we haven't seen Mitch McConnell and the Republicans in the Senate be willing to come to the table. So the negotiating so far has been done with Secretary Mnuchin on behalf of the White House and Nancy Pelosi. We need Mitch McConnell to come to the table. We need to work to get a new package done, just like we did with the CARES Act. I was really proud of the bipartisan work on that package. It passed 96-0. As part of that, we were able to get $1.25 billion for New Hampshire, extended unemployment benefits, help for hospitals and frontline healthcare workers, help for communities, and the PPP program doubled the amount of money that was first proposed. We need additional help, and it needs to be a big package that can provide the help people need.
And Mr. Messner, was the president's inconsistency about this a mistake? And what specific program do you think needs to be funded right now, and why?
Yeah, I think 6 weeks ago, the Senate had an opportunity to pass a $500 billion package to help people with enhanced unemployment and more PPP loans. And Senator Shaheen followed the lead of Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and did nothing, voted no. That was 6 weeks ago. Right now, there could be more money for small businesses. Right now, there can be more money for enhanced unemployment. And the Senate could be negotiating these other things now while people are receiving help. That's why we need new leadership in the Senate. This idea of allowing people to suffer for 6 weeks, because of inside the Beltway negotiations and holding out while people in New Hampshire are suffering. And that's why we need new leadership in the U.S. Senate. Get it done. You could then have been negotiating these other items right now.
Senator Shaheen, you were invoked. 30 seconds to respond.
Well, I agree. It's unfortunate that Mitch McConnell took 6 weeks from the time the HEROES Act got to the Senate before he was even willing to consider a bill in the Senate. The fact is, the bill that Mitch McConnell put on the floor at the end of July doesn't provide the help that people need. We have a hospital in New Hampshire that just went bankrupt this week. I was at Catholic Medical Center last week. They need financial help. We have got to help hospitals and schools and businesses and everyone who is hurting as the result of this pandemic. And Mitch McConnell has not been willing to come to the table. And my opponent is just another rubber stamp for Mitch McConnell.
Mr. Messner, how about 15 seconds on the rubber stamp there?
Yeah, you got to lead, Senator Shaheen. You should have proposed money for those hospitals in that $500 billion package. People could be receiving help
they wouldn't accept
right
it.
now. People would receiving help
we
right now.
proposed, and the Republicans
you should have
said
voted
no.
on it, and it should have passed, and people in New Hampshire would be getting help today. Small businesses are closing, and they need help.